Fellow members of People for Perpetual Pessimism, I just picked my cuticle and now I'm bleeding. How apropos. What's wrong with you people today? All I've been hearing about is hope and making things better. What is wrong with you? You've been members of People for Perpetual Pessimism, many of you longer than I have, and today you come in talking about hope. Something is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Have you not been taking your medication? Perhaps you have not been repeating the personal prayer for People for Perpetual Pessimism, known to many as Murphy's Law. Now repeat after me, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten so quickly our personal mantra, our personal prayer, our personal religion here at People for Perpetual Pessimism? Shame on you. I take it upon myself as a personal responsibility to remind you of what our raison d'etre is, ladies and gentlemen. Why be pessimistic? Isn't that a good question? Have you asked yourselves, in all the years that you've been coming to these meetings, have you ever asked yourselves, why is it that I choose to be pessimistic? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's extremely simple. When you're pessimistic, you don't get disappointed, right? All these hopeful people running around thinking the economy is going to get better, and then it doesn't get better, and they're brokenhearted, they're surprised, they're disappointed. All together now. 1, 2, 3. See? But we've beaten that, ladies and gentlemen. We have solved that problem. Because we don't expect things to get better. If anything, we expect them to get worse. So then if they get better, we're pleasantly surprised. That's the benefit in being a professional pessimist. How did we get this way? How is it that we reached a point in our lives, ladies and gentlemen, where we choose to be professional pessimists? Look at your parents. Look at the people who raised you. Look at that sad little man who for 30 years went out to a job that he hated, and he only did it because he felt an obligation to take care of you and your mom and your sisters and your brothers. See, but he had a problem. Daddy had a problem. Daddy was unhappy with his situation, and he expected it to get better. He went out every day, did the same thing he'd done the day before, but expected his life to get better. The surest sign of insanity, ladies and gentlemen, is to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. Well, if you're a pessimist, you don't do that. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, the same thing that's made you miserable the day before, the week before, the year before, and you continue expecting to be miserable, and you are! Isn't that a great formula? There's no disappointment involved, ladies and gentlemen. Children learn what they live. That's how we became pessimists. We watched our parents doing the same thing over and over again and being miserable, and we just assumed that's the way we were supposed to be as well. So we are. And we're not disappointed. And in a sense, we can be happy while we're being miserable. Dr. Paul Seligman, who some of you may have heard of, who I may even have talked about before at one of our meetings. Dr. Paul Seligman from the University of Pennsylvania has a theory called learned helplessness. He did an experiment, or a series of experiments, in which he put a dog in a box. He shocked the dog jumps out of the box. Puts the dog back in the box. Shocks the dog jumps out of the box. Puts the dog back in the box, shocks the dog jumps out of the box. Puts the dog back in the box and covers the box. Shocks the dog jumps, hits his head on the top of the box, falls back. Shocks the dog jumps, hits his head on the top of the box, falls back. Shocks the dog, hits his head on the top of the box and falls back. Dog lays down and begins to take the shocks without attempting to jump out of the box. Now, many of these optimistic kind of people would probably tell you, well, yeah, but we're human beings. We're not dogs. We can solve the problem. We can see if the box top will move if we push against it. We can try to find ways to escape the box. But I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, here at the People for Perpetual Pessimism, we don't want to jump out of the box. Might be scary out there. Who knows what we're going to find outside the box? Stay in the box where it's safe. Take the shocks. Be happy about the fact that you're not experiencing something worse that you might find outside of the box. Now, I see Mr. Lawson sitting in the back there taking notes, and undoubtedly one of the things that he's going to say to me is that in the giving of this speech, I should have come out from behind this lectern in my chair and gotten closer to the rest of you and shared my information. I'm not an idiot. John F. Kennedy went riding in an open car through Dallas, and look what happened to him. The Pope went out in public. He got shot. Not Bernstein. Bernstein's going to Bernstein's going to maintain the status quo and stay back here where it's safe.